also put this on replay. So we'll have this for later on as well too. But let me get this kicked off the ground. You're from Hawaii, but in Boston. I think Hawaiians are always Hawaiian, huh? No matter where you are in the world. So welcome everybody to our Mastermind Monday. The reason why you're on the call is you are a superstar. You are a rising star. You are in the masterminds. You are the core of the culture to the team, whether you know it or not. So congratulations on making it here. Like you stepped up. And as you step up, Jim Rohn said something something really wise. He said, "You want to help those that deserve it, not those that need it." And you guys have shown that you deserve it through your actions, not just your words, but your actions and your commitment. And as a part of that, we wanted to offer you the best of the best. So we sort of put together this Mastermind Monday idea where our goal is to be able to equip you with next level stuff, strategies, mindset, leadership, so that you can continue to go through your next promotions. You can continue to do things like 10 and 2 over and over again, but also that you can step up as a leader as well and help your people as well to get to the next level. So what we're going to do is we're bringing together the best. One thing I've been very grateful for being involved in this company is we have an amazing company culture. Dr. Kristal knows Coach Palmer very well. They've known each other for, forever. Dr. Kristal, how long have you known Coach Palmer for? You're on mute right now. Sorry, I muted you. I love your glasses, by the way.
10 years now. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
They used to be an
Almost.
accessory. Now they're a necessity.
Hey, what color do you think Dr. Kristal should get next, by the way? If she had a choice, throw that in the chat. So they're amazing though. Yeah, so something Coach Palmer, yeah, something he says is blurring the lines of sponsorship. And it's something I've come to, I really think in Partner Co, it is such a uniqueness here. And it's hard to do because there's a lot of different stuff that happens in that. But when you can have collaboration, as Partner Co talks about being better together, there's so much power in that. So we wanted to bring you to amazing people like Dr. Kristal today. So how we're going to do it, we're going to have around 30-ish minutes or so, where we're going to go through a little bit of Q&A. We'll chat about a topic. And after that, we'll do some dissection with everyone here too, because who here knows that information is worthless if it's not implemented? Right. So our goal is implementation. So we'll get some feedback afterwards. So take down some notes, drop it in the chat. And we're going to do our best to have a lot of fun times and everything. But with that said, Dr. Kristal, thanks for joining us. And thanks for being the first one to kick this off.
Oh, well, I feel I'm extremely humbled by it. I love anytime that I get to work alongside you and Becky and your team. It's just your guys' spirit is just so kind and your team is such winners. And so it's always just cool to hang out with people you love. So glad to be here.
Such an honor. Guys, if you don't know Dr. Kristal, every one of us here has made money because of Dr. Kristal, whether it's her photos or her involvement in the system of growth or just everything. She is like the heart of Slenderize, like seriously, right? So,
oh goodness.
seriously. But not only that, Kristal, are you an amazing healer and you have that medical background, but you are an incredible entrepreneur and you grew your Circle of Health group, which is a collaborative group, 300 customers to how many people are in there today?
Just shy of 40,000 today.
Wow. And these are all paying customers. This is not a prospect group. This is a paying customer group.
Yeah, I looked at it yesterday and we've denied 22,000 members where people have just tried to add them to the group, but the people did not complete the questions because we don't want a group where there's more flies on the wall than people who are actually supporting and being accountable to each other. We wanted a real community. So we are a little harder on who all we let in the group, and it tends to give us a safer community too. So every single post is looked at before it's pushed through. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is phenomenal. And this growth only happened in like the last year-ish?
Yeah,
right?
right at a year now. Yeah, we opened at the end of July, so a year
Wow.
ago. Yeah, it's a lot of
Okay.
fun. It took
Guys,
5 years though to get to 330
there we go.
and go
And
to
let's talk a little bit.
40,000, right?
That's the real of it, right? So Kristal, for those that don't know your background in network marketing and in partner code, do you mind sharing a little bit of light on your story?
Yeah, I'd love to. Um, so I grew up around the industry. I'm an Amway brat. Uh, so I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I loved residual income. I grew up on residual income. I was like, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm going to go be my own person. I'm going to start my own business. And so I went to school and was going to be a lawyer, and then got into my senior year and said, this doesn't look like any fun. And so I was out. And so I was like, oh, well, my dad told me two lifestyles, doctor or lawyer. So I guess I got to be a doctor. I don't like blood. So that leaves what? And I was like, I'm not doing anything in anyone's mouth. I'm not going to be a dentist. I mean, it was quickly narrowed down, and I was like, I'll do a chiropractor all day. I don't have to give medications. I have no blood. And so I became a chiropractor. And 15 years in, had a great thriving practice. Actually injured myself working on a Denver Bronco, not literally a player, not a horse, and uh, got hurt. And my doctor said, you need to consider a new way to create income. And so initially I was like, I gotta find more employees. uh yeah, the stress that I had happening in my life was due to having employees, because it's a lot on your shoulders to know that you're not just going to feed your family. Now you're feeding all theirs too. And if I wasn't there, I didn't make a dime. And so time is worth money to me. I think that's one thing that you have to figure out as an entrepreneur is what's your currency. I want time freedom, because to me, money is time. So if I have freedom of time, I got all the money in the world. It's just when you basically bought yourself a job, that's not true. I had to find a way to create passive residual income, because seeing 100,000 patients and not making a single dime after they walk out the office is silly. And so I hit that 15-year mark and looked at my dad and said, oh, one of us was smart here, one of us was not. But I just still didn't want to do Amway. It wasn't my fit. It wasn't my feel. I wanted something that it was different. And so long story short, I ended up with the Limu company, which many of you may have tried Limu Burn or Limu Original. I absolutely love that nutritional product. And I'll be honest, I am still here because I believe in that product. I love that product with my entire heart. And not only am I loyal to my people, my company, but my product, but I believed in it with all my heart, and I'm not going to walk away on something that I believe in that much. So I am here because I absolutely love what we have. And now I feel like I have a shopping shelf. See, this is almost a tongue twister. Shopping shelves full of supplements and tools that I can believe in that passionately about all of them, not just one of them. So I love what
Mm,
I get to do. I love that it's residual. I did use Slender Eyes to lose 80 pounds. I used Limu Burn and basically eating keto for the first 80. It stopped working. I used the drops. So for a total of 160 pounds of weight loss. Um, it's been massive. The transformation that you can get physically. I'm a health and wellness transformation, not a weight loss story. It is all
mm.
about a lifestyle that I created for myself. And then the other transformation is the financial, from going to absolutely linear income to residual active income. And now realizing that I have leveraged income. So maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes, but that's what I'm always looking for, is leveraged and residual income. And so that's my story.
Congratulations. Guys, isn't Dr. Kristal incredible? You are such a representation of what PartnerCo is all about, like literally transformation inside and out. So let's talk about some of the levels that you get to, because this group, they're all everyone here has gotten customers, right? The drops, we have our systems of posting and attracting, and these things all work. We have our testimonies, they all work. People want what it is that we have. And there's a couple of parts that I think I know that I've struggled with, but I've also seen in the team that they've struggled with as well too. Number one is this, and especially managing such a large group. I'll ask the group this question. Who here has had any, this is a private group, you know, we're leaders, but let's be real. Who here's had some headaches or frustrations of working with customers and helping them use the product and get results? All right, like they're giving you their complaints, they're not following the list, they're like doing all these different things, right? And then you feel guilty and like, am I not being a good coach? Am I not doing this job? So imagine that compounded by almost 40,000 people. And Dr. Kristal still looks like, you know, she's de-aging. If you saw her Benali corporate live, by the way, we just posted that again. So people, that's no joke. Dr. Kristal, that is the most requested corporate live I've ever had in my entire career. So we had to find it and we had to go post it. So, awesome. But you're still looking, yeah, you're still looking amazing. So talk to us a little bit about what have you found are simple things to do to support a new customer so that you don't get overstressed, but they still do have a good result and a good experience. Any thoughts on that?
So I've got, okay, yeah. Yeah, I got some thoughts on that. I have a bazillion thoughts on it. And so that is why it's constantly in the forefront of my brain. And it goes back to what we were just talking about. If I, for whatever way, I generate a lead. Okay, you worked hard to get a lead. That's all the posting or whatever program system you're using to capture someone's attention. If you can stop the scroll, you've generated a lead. Now, what I love is, but also it's the paradox to what we have going on, is don't confuse your lead for linear income. A lot of people are falling in love with the customer sale because it generates you some income, especially if it's generating $50 and $60. It's really easy to fall in love with it because you're like, why would I want to convert them? I'm making money off of them each month. But that goes back over to what I was talking about a minute ago. I did that. I lived that for 15 years with patient visits. I made a great, healthy customer. When they walked in the door, they walk out the door. I sold them a box. Great. But 15 years later, I'm going, wait, I got them through the door. Why would I not do just a little bit more to turn it into residual income? And that really is all that transpires between a customer moving along to a brand partner. And you're just always looking for the space or place to nudge. But in the nudge that you give that person, whatever it looks like, whether it's an email campaign, a text campaign, a call, a reach out, like this is up to you. This is what's different about PartnerCo is we're not telling you how to do it. We're just telling you, you need to do it. And here are some ways. Now, what feels authentic to you? And you might have a little bit of all of it because you might have different levels of relationships with your customers. But you have to nudge them. But the nudge has to, they're saying what's in it for me. The nudge cannot be about you. See, when a customer buys from you, they get it. They're well aware that you profited off of them. They're getting something in return, a product. But if you start to move somebody over into a partnership, they're going, well, what's in it for me? Because now they're not really paying anything in. And especially with so much stuff that we give as a turnkey system between boards and systems and programs, they're going, you're giving me a lot. So what are you expecting from me? And that's where it comes down to, like, you've got to create enough of a relationship with that person, or have enough of a little bit of back and forth, or know your niche, know who you're talking to explain to them what's in it for them. So 90% of us, if you say what's in it for me, we're women on here. I'm looking around here. I don't see too much testosterone popping up in this room. Way to go, ladies. But I do see, I see him. He's like, wait a minute, look at me. I have hair on my chin. I love it. Me too. Me too, unfortunately. Here's the deal. We love a sale. We do girl math, right? We all know what girl math is. Right? We're just like, no, I know I bought that many boxes, but I got one for free. No, really, I did. Right? We girl math it, and I'm okay. I love girl math. So I have to, the biggest thing that gets a customer to a brand partner is savings, and the word free and bonus. So anytime you can figure out how you're marketing that first 90%, right? Like, go for the 90% if the odds are in your favor. So if I'm looking for the nudge for a customer to a brand partner, I'm not talking business if they're a customer. They asked to be a customer. They didn't ask to be your business partner. For me, I'm like, they've gotten choices along the way to be a customer or brand partner. And if someone's a customer, I have to treat them like a customer with my marketing to bump them to a brand partner. So I'm not going to talk business until they're talking business to me. Right? So from customer to brand partner, my magic move is all about savings and getting it for free. So right now, right there, we have this beautiful free enrollment. So right now we can certainly use that as marketing, but let's not say we don't have that. So my goal is, personally, I don't want to sell someone a box of drops more than once, because I did not get in this to be shipping boxes of drops. They're a lead. So it's my responsibility to move my lead, because a happy dropper becomes a happy brand partner. Does it make sense to spend $30 to access membership pricing for life? That's what's in it for them. They're getting savings for life. I make sure they realize that. I'm not going in for business. At no point do I say anything business personally at that, because they're a customer. They're here for product. So then yes, I would like the savings. Awesome. Let's get you started. Now here goes the link to get them started. Once they have an ID number, I'm still working towards the nudge, because I have a system. My nudges don't lead to someone becoming a brand partner. My nudges work to move them along my system. The goal is not to get someone a brand partner. The goal is to get someone to launch their sphere of influence. Because I can get brand partners all day long, but if they never launch into their sphere of influence, it's pointless. There's no residual. And then that's that last part. There's no leverage. I get more time when I teach 100 people how to do 1 hour of work. Well, if I never leverage, all I still have is linear income. They're buying once. It's nice if I can turn it into residual where they set up a subscription and they're getting savings forever and always. But the real income comes when I teach them how to launch their own sphere of influence. And so whether it's the system of growth or what, however you're doing that, when someone does a 7-day launch and does a campaign, that's what they've done, is they've launched their sphere of influence. So for me, I'm not turning the 7-day launch into a business move. The 7-day launch is for them to possibly get their drops for free.
Mm.
So if they have launched or they got their savings for life, now my comment is, would you like to get your drops for free? Well, how would I do that? Well, I have this 7-day pre-made campaign I'm happy to give you. If you would launch it, we'll be able to see if your sphere of influence is just as interested as you were when you saw the post. And if they're just like you, they'll want them too. Okay. And I don't have to go into everything. I just have to give them the 7-day campaign. If they go and sell 30 boxes of drops, do you think I have to tell them they need to get a subscription? They're like, do I have to twist their arm to teach them the back office? No, because they just made $1,500 on average. They're like, okay, what do I do? Sign me up. And I'm like, oh, you're already signed up. Well, we just launched you and you're just kind of pre-launch. So they're like, oh, and now they're going to do what you did with them. So they make the decision to go into business. I'm just nudging them through the system for the leverage of sphere of influence.
So good. Nudging them for what's in it for them. That's a huge thing and deeply intentional. Always have that at the forefront. And just for some math, if you're in the United States, Canada, they have a 3-pack. States, there's a 4-pack. So just some math, we sell them. A lot of people here, you might buy in bulk and sell. I think most here sell through a link. So typically it's like 150, which is the same price if you're doing a bulk sale, but 150 is the price point. So if you're getting a 4-pack, it's $371. If you do the math, it's $93 per box of drops. Girl math. Who here would love to save over $50 per set of drops? Yeah. So there's that conversion there. So to upsell like a customer to getting a 4-pack, that's 208 points, guys, rather than 76 points. Who here would love triple the amount of PV in your business, right? So there's one, but I also love how you're now nudging them into getting it for free and just getting into their sphere of influence. I see where that move is coming and just have their launch, right? Today, it's so crazy, Kristal, because Cindy just launched in the group. We're doing a launch campaign, like a whole launch promo. So people just make their post, right? So that's exactly push them into the water, but nudge them in a way. And I think the art in the class is knowing how to do it in a way where you don't push them the wrong way. And the key of all that and not knowing how to push them the wrong way is intention. Who here has ever rubbed someone the wrong way in your business? Like they're kind of like not talking to you anymore, things like that. Right? I do it all the time. So it's always that heart check right there. Okay. I love that. Chris, I have some questions on stats. I'm curious what you saw, because I think a lot of times as we're doing the deal, sometimes we might think, man, everyone else is crushing it, but I'm not. My customers aren't converting. They're not doing the thing. Out of X amount of customers, have you seen a general percentage of actual conversion? Amount of, let's say 10 customers, how many actually convert to a partner? Do you have any idea?
Well, so that's the art and the science part. Or maybe I should say that's the art part. The science of a system of growth is we have it all in there if you use the tools, right? There's the science of learning how to use the scripts and knowing when to use the scripts. The art of, I would say, I think it's probably fair to say 60% in regards to convert, because most people are going to come out of one box and purchase a second set. Now, what we're finding is we're starting to offer the 4-pack from the very front, because we're starting to say, and for Canada, this would work great for you too, in regards to the threes, because if somebody, they're going to start the drops, if they're going to start this routine in this program, doesn't it make sense that it's going to take more than a month to actually get results? And so we know it takes 90 days to get a regenerated new cell. So it's 90 days from a cell's birth to a cell dying. So if that's the case, and I'm resetting and reestablishing the body and getting some new balance, well, then 90 days worth would be 3 boxes, and you'd have a box for free. So if anybody along the way asks you, what is it that you're doing? You have an extra box here in the US that you could turn around and sell them for the same price that you purchased them, or the 150, and put a little money in your pocket. It gives you more skin in the game. What I'm finding is those that start, the customers that start with a 4-pack, they really are like, they're paying the $30 fee. They're getting the 4-pack so that they get the box for free. In their mind, I've got a box for my 90 days. Well, what ends up happening is they're converted easily. They're converted because they stay a little bit longer. That first week, if it doesn't go perfectly, they're not like, I'm out of here, because they still got 3 boxes sitting on their desk. Whereas somebody who just has those 2 boxes, they've thrown the box away. If they only have 1 set, there's a little less skin in the game. In the first 3 days of headache, they're like, I'm not doing this. This doesn't work. And they push it off to the side. So I think we're starting to get more conversion rate percentages over, just simply due to people, our customers have more skin in the game. But if I start a customer, and I get them that after purchase instructions, I get them directly over into the community, and I follow up with them weekly looking for the win. And when I follow up, I'm looking, I don't ever ask, how's your body? I learned that in chiropractic school. Never ask somebody how they're feeling, how they're doing, how's their body, because we are naturally programmed to start with negative. And it immediately postures you on the defense, because you feel like you take responsibility for the drops. So what James was talking about, that false sense of responsibility, it is not your responsibility to tell someone to put drops in their mouth. They're an adult. They're a grown adult. So we can't take on people's, I mean, it's the same people that get a gym membership and they're out on the 2nd week, and yet they pay for the whole year worth of gym memberships. Like, please don't think they quit on your drops because your drops don't work. They've quit on their drops because they don't work. But that's the mentality that gets us. I was here. It was me. But if I know someone doesn't judge me and doesn't care, like, I just lead into week 1 assuming that they did not stay on the drops. Right? So I'm just going to say, tell me the good news. I'm not going to ask them how their body is. I got to stay positive. Tell me the good news to make you filter through all of the negative you were going to tell me for the reasons that you didn't have the results you wanted. That's what we really do. I want you to tell me the good, and they'll have to stop and think about it for a second, because they were just getting ready to give you the laundry list of what hasn't been working. Unless they lost like 20 pounds and now they just want to like scream it and shout it, right? And like, anyway. So always start with the positive. Find a positive way to ask them, how's it going? So tell me the good news. And they all say it now. It's so funny to all their customers. Tell me the good news. Tell me the good news. And they're like, well, now that you mention it, it's like I mentioned it. Now that I mentioned it, as soon as they get done with that positive, like it's a positive reinforce. I'm going to reinforce it and drop the seed of make sure before the next time that you order your box of drops that we have a second to talk about how you can get these for savings or possibly even for free. See, the art of that transition right there is I'm willing to drop the seed when they're winning, not when it's at the end. And now they're confusing it because I was saying it was something for them. Remember, what's in it for me? Don't forget, make sure I tell you about what's in it for you. Instead of they coming to me going, hey, I need to get that box of drops. I need to get another one. And you're like, well, let me tell you about this 4-pack. They feel sold now. Instead of before, they would have felt like I was doing something for them. So that's the art, not waiting till your person asks you for direction, but giving them direction when it looks like, when it is intention. That's where, if you guys are like your intention, the intention is, are you doing for what's in it for them? Or are you doing it because it's the end of, now they've got to switch over to their next set of drops and like, well, let me convert you into a brand partner. They feel that if that's what it is.
So good.
We'll just
Man,
talk in a circle.
it was so good.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Absolutely. Guys, throw one in the comments if you're catching anything already today. It's the little details. It's the art of what Dr. Kristal's saying. It's that little bit. What I catch is 60% conversion. I'm not getting that. I'll be real. I'm like, dang, you just set a bar right there, sister. So thank you for that. But I see why that's happening. And my last question would be this for now, Kristal, because we can talk about all different types of things. Who here, by the way, is excited to meet Dr. Kristal PXP? Like, it's gonna be so cool. Tell us about how life looks like for you now. It's been a year past launching everything, and you're traveling around everywhere. And we're thankful we even caught you at a seated moment right now. But what does life and business look like now?
Well, recently it's been, where's Waldo? Like everybody, I hear it constantly. Where is she? So today I'm in Ohio. Yeah, I'm here in the Columbus area for the next, this is the longest I've been in one location for like a couple months. I'm here until Friday. What does life look like? It's really, it's moving very quickly. And sometimes it feels like things could fall through the cracks. And it can actually create some anxiety. Like you feel like, I just don't know how I can do it all. And I want you to know you can't. You can't do it all. And the best thing that I am learning is to pass the baton. More hands help. And so there's things that I need to let go of and pass on and let other leaders, like I have a weekly team call, and like it was in a Zoom that I am the only one who can log into, or I have to give them my passwords, and I got, right? It was this mess. And so what did I do? I went and got more participants on my Zoom so that each one, and I went and did a monthly schedule. And so they're going to log in and they're going to set it up. And I'm going to come in as the backup instead of the lead on it. I'm always there. I'm always present. So that's it. Are you passing the baton to the next person? Because if we're actually growing, you'll end up being your own lid if you think all roads have to move through you first. So passing the baton, I'm getting stretched right now in that.
I feel you on that. Who here feels that? By the way, that's real talk right there.
But it's good.
Gosh.
I mean, everybody wants a unicorn. Everybody wants to be a part of a unicorn. They want to be a part of a company that's going into momentum. So I just think about if you were in something and you were in a car and you were driving 5 miles an hour and all of a sudden you were going 200 miles an hour, would there be whiplash? Yeah. Right? You got to, if you want to move fast, you're going to have a little bit of pushback. You're going to get slammed back a little bit, but it's okay. Because all of a sudden you find your seat and you're like, I got this. I'm okay. And all of a sudden you're moving with it instead of the whiplash. Just know that you're okay. You'll recover. Take the little bit of a jolt and then find your balance in it. And then you'll just be moving right along with it.
Perfect message, Dr. Kristal. And we have Cindy, if you have any feedback, and then we'll dive into some implementation after that as well too. But Cindy, any thoughts on Dr. Kristal, or you want to share with Dr.
Oh
Kristal?
my gosh, I'm over here taking massive amounts of notes. Holy moly, the way you have already expanded my mind and my thinking and how we can take this and then go help other people. I mean, just simple things where it's like, gosh, why didn't I think of that? And why didn't I think of that? One thing that I am taking away from this, most importantly, is this conversation with customers, because we have so many customers. We're huge customer getters, as are you guys, right? But there's no way that we're converting 60%. I mean, we're not even close to that. So my thinking is, how can we move the needle forward and grow closer to that 60%? And the very fact that you are asking or really leading people early on in that conversation of, tell me the good news, right? Tell me the good news. That's so powerful, because our brains are hardwired to answer the question that is being asked of us, right? So if you say, tell me the good news, naturally we're scanning for the good news, right? Instead of this open-ended where our brain automatically gives negative feedback. So that is brilliant, but it doesn't just end there. The very fact that you're planting that seed of, after you have them talking about the good news, you have them in a really solid mind state, right? You're saying, hey, you know what, before you get your next set of drops, which that is brilliant, by the way, you're already planting the seed that, hey, you're going to get another set of drops. You're telling them. But before you do, let's be sure to have a quick talk on how you can get these for so much less, or maybe even for free. And you have them in this great place. You're telling them what's in it for them, that I can absolutely see why your conversion is 60% and ours is 30%. So I don't know. I drop a 1 in a chat if you guys feel like you've already gotten massive, massive value from Dr. Kristal Vance. You are a gift and a treasure, and we are so blessed to be sitting here learning from you. Oh, okay, that's it.
I love you.
I love you.
Kristal, thank you
Yeah.
so much. We appreciate your time. Yeah. If you have any other thoughts, feel free to share them as well too. I so appreciate and respect your time, because you're where's Walden right now.
Yeah.
But
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Lots of
Guys.
prayers. If anybody hasn't done it, send one of them special prayers over there to baby Zhang and mama and daddy for just healing, gentle hands on our little man. We love you. Keep that baby warm, Becky. Keep him warm.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Kristal.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for your time.
Bye.
Yeah.
We'll take it from here, everyone. My gosh, so many nuggets, and I love to go around. And whether you put it in the chat, like if there's any type of feedback, right? Because all you need is one idea. All you need is one breakthrough. And I love to go around, and if anyone has something on your heart, you're like, man, I got this, and this is what I'm going to do. How do I take feedback, by the way? Let me teach you on this. I had to untrain myself how to take notes, because I'm super academic, you know, my background. So I knew how to memorize and regurgitate. But I started to notice something that the C students hired the B students, hired the A students, typically, right? And that I was broke and the owners were making a lot more money. And it's because owners, when they take notes, they're like, just like what you heard from Cindy, did you see that feedback that she gave? Did you see she's like, wow, I'm implementing this right now. That's how a leader takes feedback and thinking for you and your business, what did I learn? What am I going to adjust? What am I going to do right now? So if you have some type of feedback like that, how do I apply it, right? And if you can put it in like a couple of minutes, I'd love to go around and feel free to raise that hand. There is a raise hand button that is in this reaction thing. And we'd love to hear any feedback from you guys. Carol.
Well, James, I already did that. So thank you, Dr. Kristal. I had somebody that said she wanted a second box and she's traveling. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, you could get your box for the same price that I get it for by becoming a brand partner. And we have this special going on. And so she hopped on board and she's going to be a partner. Thank you,
Good job. And Carol, if you don't mind me asking, I want to coach everyone here. There's a rising leaders chat, right? There's a mastermind. So I'm asking, I love that. Congratulations. But what I'm looking for is feedback for you to change something or add into your business. So good job. That's great. What I would like to hear even more, Carol, and from everyone, what did I hear today that I'm going to apply now? That's different. If you're already doing it, good. Like celebrate, put that in the chat and stuff. But we want to learn and grow together here and like make some tune-ups. Does that make sense, Carol? And that's for everyone, right?
Totally, James. So I think I would use that line before you get your second box. The Dr. Kristal. Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Good. That one line can change everything. You know?
Yeah.
Other Becky Gabbard.
Hi. Yeah, one of the things she said was, it's not my responsibility to put drops in people's mouths. And I kind of, I feel like it is. And that just freed me up. I just kind of let that go because I have one person in particular that, I mean, they're like children. It's crazy. This is about their life. I mean, it's about their life. And they can't seem to take the time to do the things that will change their life. And I can't own that anymore. And that is so free. I'm going to take my energy and I'm going to go, tell me what the good news is. And let's go with the people that are on board and let the people do their thing that aren't. And I mean, that was so freeing for me, really, because I'm dealing with that right now. I'm just going to let that go. And work with the people that want this. And that's how I do when I post. I'm like, the people that are supposed to see me will see it and they'll be blessed by it. And I let that go and I put that out there. And so anyway, that really spoke to me. Yeah.
Perfect. Guys, I think we need a frozen moment and we just have to let it go. Who here is ready to let go of that responsibility, right? Give me a wave or put me in the comments. Just let it go. And I hope the song is playing in her head. I'm not going to sing it for us. So anyhow, that's huge, Becky. That's huge. Jim Rohn said you can help 1,000 people. You can't carry 300 back. All right. So absolutely. Becca and little one. Hey, and then we'll go to Jackie after that. Hi.
Hi, everyone. So I loved how she talked about, she said, I'm not looking for brand partners. I can enroll brand partners all day long, but I'm looking for people who are ready to launch their sphere of influence. And that was huge for me. It was just this mindset shift, right? Like, I'm not necessarily looking for people that are just like, yeah, I want to be a brand partner. I want to be a brand partner, but I'm looking for the people who are ready to follow the 7-day launch system and launch their sphere of influence. Because she said, even customers, if we're having them post or whatever, they're kind of nudging themselves into the business themselves. So like, I don't have to convince them to do anything if they're ready to follow the 7-day launch system. Loved that.
That's huge. We get so much great feedback, Becca. You get so much hung up on like, they're going to be the superstar. Who here's ever done that? I've done this, right? You sign someone up, like, all right. And it's a lot of pressure on them, right? You never know. There's a saying that those that you think won't will, those that you think will won't. And there's also a stat, by the way. Did you know that your top money earners typically are not your personally sponsored people? Your top money earners are those, your next rising leaders, your next people in the mastermind are actually 3 generations down. So it's not your person, it's their person, and it's their person. So if you start to have this intention of tapping into network marketing lingo, it's called tap rooting, right? You're launching into spheres of influence, spheres of influence, spheres of influence. The seed will always land on good ground, and you're like, okay, they're ready to go. All right, so huge right there. Perfect. Jacqueline, do you go by Jackie or just Jacqueline?
Usually Jacqueline, but you can call me
Jacqueline.
whatever. Jackie.
Jacqueline it is.
It all
What's up,
works.
Jacqueline?
It all works. It's funny because Rebecca was talking about the sphere of influence, and that was really what hit me too. So I'll just go a little bit further because I have been talking to a lot of people who are waiting for payday, or, so when she said, when Dr. Vance said that using the 7-day launch as a way to pay for their products, they don't know what they don't know until they get started. So I figure if, we start with that launch, get them started, now's the perfect time with the free membership, get them launching, and then it'll open up because we've got the testimonials and everything already in there with the 7 days for them. So that's, I think, where I'm gonna strike out, trying to help them that way.
So love that. It's a good convert. Who hears people that say, I want the drops, but I can't afford them, right? Like I gotta wait. You can nudge them here. We have a teammate, Kim Wall. She was just like that. Say, I want them, but I can't afford them. So what I did is I had her go through the 7-day launch. I'm like, hey, there's a way you can get them paid for. If you sell like 4 drops here through links, you can make enough to get your drops paid for, actually. So she went through it. I think it was 3 days, Jacqueline. She sold enough to get her own box paid for. And then now she's like super excited. She's hit 10 and 2 multiple times and like super cool thing. So good idea. Really, really good idea. I love this feedback. Oh, Kim's on this call. Yeah, Kim's here. So congratulations. Great start to that. Any other feedback as well, feel free to raise your hand. I will toss it over. The Harpers, I love to ask. I know they're just joining the family and they're trying to get their grips on everything. It's been like a fun couple weeks. What's on your mind?
We are soaking this up like a sponge. I mean, this is amazing. We just did international travel. It's midnight here, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. But here is Lagos, Nigeria, by the way, everyone. Dr. Kristal, this was amazing. I love the strategy. I've got so many notes. But one thing I would say that I took away is, when she mentioned, don't wait for them to ask you. Don't make them feel like they're being sold to. All the points that everyone mentioned is so good. And so now being able to change my language and letting the customer know, hey, don't forget for me to let you know about the savings that you could have, because it doesn't make sense to pay $30 and get a lifetime of savings so that you can keep getting the results that you're getting. So I like to remember that. That way I can easily transition them over without them getting that ding, 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 ding. You're selling me or you're trying to get me into something. So love that, love that, love that. Great, great, great. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Looking forward to more.
Great feedback and way to make it on out in Nigeria. That's commitment right there. Cindy, I'll pass it to you. So you're processing everything, you're seeing everything. I know your mind's just going like crazy. What are you thinking now? How do we take this and put it in play to everything we have going on?
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm already sitting over here going, we need a script for this. We need a script for that. We got to adjust this script. We got to adjust that script. My mind always goes to, okay, this can work. And then how can we duplicate? Because I'm always thinking duplication, right? It's not just about what helps this core group right here go, make more sales or convert more. It's how do we help our entire teams up their conversion rate? How do we help them? How do we give them the tool that makes sense without having to sit in a mastermind that they're not quite ready for yet, right? So don't you guys worry. Probably by tomorrow afternoon, we will have a set of scripts ready to put out there in the boards apps and all the places, because this is brilliant. And part of being a leader is being committed to constantly learning and really being open to this feedback and being open to implementing things that you pick up along the way. And this is just, I mean, if this is what we're in for in this mastermind series, are you kidding me? We are just going to absolutely continue to explode in a big, big way. This was brilliant, James. I am so excited for the rest of this mastermind series, and I hope all of you guys are too, because this was amazing.
Absolutely. Who's ready for Cindy's scripts? Thank you, Cindy and Lindsay are masters at seriously. I'm so grateful for them. Yes, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
And perfect note there, right? So we have a couple things. So how do we take this into action? Cindy announced we have a promo right now. It deals with getting into spheres of influence. You get an entry. We have $1,000 on the line right now, guys, that we just launched earlier today. So you can win this by helping your teammate launch. Every teammate that you help launch, get their first pin post up, you get an entry. And in 2 weeks, on our last Manager Monday, we're going to be able to celebrate that together. The post will go up. It's been a crazy Monday already. So we'll be sure to get that information out there. But also, this would be my challenge to everybody. And honest feedback. Who here feels, and you can say no if it's not, but who here feels that getting on here was worth your time? Like truly worth your time? Right? Yeah. Who here would have wished you had that one teammate that was on here as well too, or two? The best thing you can do, what's changed my life, is I'm like, you know, I might not want to train. In fact, I can't believe I'm talking right now, because when I got started, I'm like, I'm never going to do that talking thing. Famous last word. So watch out. If you're saying that right now, Shauna's probably like, oh, I'm so shy and stuff, but she's such a great speaker. She did amazing today, right? It's in your best interest to help them launch and to drive them towards the mastermind. The more people you have on this, we're going to keep bringing it. Next week, by the way, we have Greg and Lanika Scott. They made $4 million in 10 years. That's crazy. I can't even fathom that. Do you think you can learn something from them? So think who on your team could do that. Cindy, you know them well. What are you excited about?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, they're just such a bright light. If you've ever been around people who just have this infectious energy, there's just like this contagious feeling of just goodness, right? And every time they speak, I feel filled up in so many different ways. And just like sitting down and listening to Dr. Kristal Vance, just sitting back and soaking it in, right? And take what you can. I just know that they are going to come in with some major knowledge bombs, for lack of a better way of saying it. I do know that they just had this huge push, this huge initiative. We've talked a little bit to Nicole Vossler about it. And I don't know about you guys, but I would love to hear more about what just got them to chairperson 3, right? First chairperson 3 in North America. They're doing something really, really right. And the fact that they're willing to sit down and talk to us and share with us what they're doing and what's working for them. I'm really, really excited. I know that they are going to bring the fire next week, and I'm here for it. How about you guys? I think we should put a challenge on you guys to try to bring one new person with you guys next week to this mastermind. Get one person, pick one person in your organization that you're like, you have got to be on this mastermind, and get them here next week. Okay, I'm doing it. I want to know that you guys are going to do it too. Okay.
Put me in the comments if you're accepting that. If you're accepting that, come on. Leaders take accountability and ownership. Let's go. I'm thinking about it. Perfect,
I'm in
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. All right, guys. Well, other than that, we are so proud of each and every single one of you. Truly, we are all better together. I know we only have so much time and space. I would love to hear from every single one of you. If you could do us the favor, feedback is important because that's how you learn, not just for us to understand, but for you to learn. In your mastermind groups, drop some of your aha moments, right? Like give a little bit of feedback that'll both help you learn, both help us as leaders know how to help you better, and actually promote to those that are in the mastermind groups that maybe didn't make this live as well too, see what they're missing out on as well too. All right. Are you guys okay with that? Sharing some of your feedback? And we want to hear from you. All right. Other than that, let's continue to crush through this week, guys. Congratulations once again. We'll double this by next week. Have a great one. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.